Hey guys, thanks for stopping by my channel today as I master batch my goat milk hand and body cream. That's right, I'm master batching creams for the first time. My name's Tammy and I own Walnut Creek Bath Boutique. I've master batched before. My liquid soaps, my sugar scrubs, my foaming bath whip I make. So it's not like this is a new thing for me, but I have been meaning to do a big master batch of my creams and I just haven't gotten around to it. But it seems like every time I get around to making it, I need to kind of use it all up. And so I think I'm at a spot now where I need just a few jars of a few scents, and then the rest of it can go in my bucket and I can really start master batching. That's really what I want to do, especially with having my products now in a storefront and getting a wholesale client. I really think it's a good time to be able to master batch and just keep that on hand and be able to fill those orders as needed. This morning I did come down here and I sprayed everything with 70% rubbing alcohol, and that is my scales, my countertops, my all my utensils back here, my pots. So everything's been sanitized and I am ready to get going on this master batching. So I hope you stay tuned to watch. I'm going to get my hairnet on, my gloves on, and my apron on, and then we're going to get started. So this batch is 179 ounces. It's about as big as I'm comfortable making. So I have a fairly large pot here and I'm going to start adding my heated water phase. First thing in, is water. Alright guys, so aloe vera is next. I do just get this big jug from Walmart. Aloe vera has anti-inflammatory properties, so it's really great for moisturizing, for dry skin, for sensitive skin. So it's all around good for that. And I need 462. Next I'm going to get my goat's milk. So goat's milk, I do use the powder for my goat's milk just because I just feel like trying to preserve a liquid goat's milk in a lotion is a little bit scary to me. So I use the powder, guys. So goat's milk has lactic acid in it and that helps repair the barrier function of our skin. That's pretty cool. Let's see, how much do I need? It's great for people with sensitive skin. Alright, let me go get the next ingredient. I'll be right back. So next I have silk amino acids, and I wanted to look this up exactly. These are silk amino acids PF, which I do get this from Lotion Crafter. They have a lower molecular weight than hydrolyzed silk protein powders. So due to that, they are more penetrating and moisturizing to the skin and hair. So they're highly hygroscopic and have excellent moisture binding ability. And they are known to penetrate the upper layers of the skin as well, the hair cuticle, and this draws moisture into these areas. So silk amino acids, that's a winner in my book. I did get this formula, I should say, from the Lotion Crafter website. 2 grams, I need 2 grams. 1 gram. Don't worry, I have a new bottle. 1 gram, guys. So this recipe is, I believe it was not originally their goat milk cream recipe. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I'm right on this, this is Jen's Bodacious Cream or something like that. So that is the cream I'm making, but I did make changes and I did turn it into a goat milk cream. Perfect. So what I do is I write on here that I had 102 grams left in that bottle, And then before I make this, I'm going to make sure my inventory has 102 grams showing, so that that is always updated. Every time I empty a bottle, I make sure that my inventory software shows exactly how much that bottle had. If that makes any sense. It probably doesn't make any sense at all. I'll be right back. Okay. I had to find my disodium EDTA. I was looking everywhere for it. All right, so we are going to add 10 grams of that in here. So this is a chelator, and so that just traps metal ions. We are using distilled water, so we're doing everything we can to keep any kind of metal ions being in our product. It's a boost to the preservative, I guess is what I'm saying. It traps any kind of metal ions that may be in any of our products that we're adding into this, and it helps that, what am I trying to say? Helps that along. All right, guys, I'm gonna get this on the back counter and started heating while I go get the oil phase ready. First up is shea butter. I honestly don't remember how many changes I made to this recipe. I've made changes throughout the years, quite a bit. The base of the recipe, I think I have kept the same. The percentages of oils or butters and the percentages of the emulsifying wax and stearic acid, I'm pretty sure I kept most of that the same. But I have changed the butters and the oils here and there. So I'm going to put equal parts of shea butter and meadowfoam seed oil. If I'm not mistaken, it may be this recipe or one of the others calls for macadamia nut oil, or I used to use macadamia nut oil in this, but I have gone to not having any kind of nut oils in my line, so I just switched it out to meadowfoam. Next, we're going to put some dimethicone in here. I get this from Lotion Crafter as well. I'm going to actually open up my lid here for the first bit. I love these bottles for that kind of weighing off. It makes life so much easier. So dimethicone is a silicone. Oops, I checkmarked the wrong one. So it's just making that silky feel that this lotion gives. Everyone just kind of raves over the way this cream feels on their skin. It is a very, very popular product for me to have on my line. So I'm going to get my emulsifying wax and my stearic acid. All right, guys, so clearly we have oil and water. We need an emulsifier. So I just use a very generic emulsifier for this particular cream. I don't use anything fancy. It's just your standard e-wax. I get it from Soaper's Choice. I've always gotten my standard e-wax from Soaper's Choice. All right, and next we're going to put our stearic acid in here, and this is going to be our thickener. For some humectant goodness, we're going to add just our standard vegetable glycerin in here. We're going to add some IPM or isopropyl myristate. This is a conditioning agent. I actually use it in quite a few of my products. I've started checking off my ingredients so I don't forget things. All right, and lastly, we're going to go ahead and add our vitamin E into this. This is something I used to put in the cool down phase, but something I learned from Keely is that you don't really need to, Keely at Soy and Shea, I should say, you don't really need to add this to the cool down phase. It is fine to add it into the heated oil phase. And vitamin E can be very difficult to mix in. I actually threw away some jars of cream once because I saw brown specks in it, and I thought that I had a dirty jar that I didn't get sanitized or cleaned out, and I was so disappointed and so worried that I sold some, maybe had sold some. It turned out the next time I made this cream, I realized it was my vitamin E that I had not gotten blended in very well. It's very difficult to blend in, especially if you're going to use the natural I don't know how to say that, tocopherol T50, like the natural vitamin E. Don't use the vitamin E you can get at Walmart that's clear. That's not the same thing. It's not going to do the job. The vitamin E is helps keep your oils fresh longer. It keeps that rancidity down. The store-bought stuff you get at Walmart is not going to do that. I think it's also quite emollient as well, so it's good for your skin. All right, so now guys is the hardest part, and that's waiting for that to heat up. I'm going to let the water get to about 177. I'm also going to be blending that on the back counter with my stick blender, and I may bring it over here just so you can see that. And then I'll get this up to the same temp as well. So when that's about 120, maybe I'll throw this on the heat. I don't need to overheat this. I just need to bring this up to temp. There's a lot of back and forth and controversy or different schools of thought whether you have to heat and hold the water for your heated water phase for 20 minutes. I found that very, very difficult and annoying and stressful. Trying to keep it at that hit. I'd either get too high or then it'd fall down, and trying to hold it at 175 or whatever, it's just so much trouble. And so when I started reading articles from Susan Barclay, and I think Keely also had a post about it, it's really not necessary to hold your water for 20 minutes at a certain temperature. So it made me feel better to just not do the holding of the heated water phase for 20 minutes, because it is darn near impossible to keep that at a certain temperature without fluctuating too low or too high. So anyway, I am going to get some water going. I'll probably just throw some hot water in the microwave, or water in the microwave to heat up, because I will need to top that off. And actually, I need to weigh that, don't I? I have not weighed it. I'm glad I talked to you about that, because I was going to forget. And it's not hot enough to have lost any water yet, so we're good there. Guys, I just wanted to quickly show you, this is still heating up. Let's check the temperature of it. It's about 116. So I am going to take my stick blender to this and try to get some of this goat milk powder to be dissolved and mixed in there a little bit better. It can be a little hard to get that mixed in completely. So I'm just going to take this to it pretty quickly here, guys. I do use a dedicated stick blender for my lotions or creams or anything like that. I still have a couple of chunky goat's milk, but I will be working on getting those blended in throughout this heating up process. But I just wanted to show you that's what I have to do a couple times while it's heating up. All right, so first things first, this is up to temp, so I am going to weigh it. It's still releasing quite a bit of steam, so we are still having some water evaporation. But I am going to top it off now with my hot water. I lost about 100 grams, almost exactly. Okay. My oils are still coming up to temp, so I'm going to get the lid on here, hold in all of that steam, and as soon as my oil, they're almost there, guys, so as soon as those are up to temp, I'm going to combine the two, so I'll be right back. Not very long. So here's my hot oils. I had to move my water, so hang on just a second. Here is my hot water phase. I'm gonna get my stick blender right in there and just go to town on it for just a couple, 2 or 3 minutes, guys. Okay, before we go too much further, I am gonna weigh this because I am getting quite a bit of steam off of here. And so when this cools down just a little bit, I am gonna top that steam off and replace any of this water loss that's still happening. with my hot water, and I'll probably throw that back in the microwave and heat that back up before I do that. But just letting you know that I am going to take care of the steam before it's after it's done steaming. I don't know what I'm saying. It's been only 3 or 4 minutes, and I am going to move this off. Went down and got a bowl. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here just so I don't melt the plastic. I don't know how hot that is. Hopefully I won't melt the plastic. And then I'm going to put this in here. And then I'm going to throw some ice around here and put it in a white ice bath. Ah! Of course I'm dropping ice. You guys would expect nothing less. We're going to let it sit in this ice bath. I will be off and on, just stick blending this for 2 to 3 minutes at a time, waiting 4, 5, 6 minutes, stick blending it for another couple minutes, and just kind of going back and forth with that. And if I need to switch out my ice water, I will. So I'll be back when this has cooled down and we're ready for the next step, guys. So next, we are going to add our preservative. I did top this off with just a little bit of water for the last of that bit of water loss. And I'm adding some liquid Germall Plus right now. It is under 120. It's about 116, 117 degrees. I want to add this in warm enough that it's still quite fluid, but I do need to stay under the max heat that I don't want to burn off my preservative. So I do need to make sure that I'm under that temperature. And I'm going to mix this in really, really well. All right, guys, this is done. I'm going to let this cool off just a little bit before I pour it in my bucket back there. All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and pour this off into my bucket in the back that I have sanitized. We're going to see how full that becomes. And then tomorrow we're going to pull off the amount that we need to jar up my blackberry and magnolia cream. And we're just going to see how warm I can get it without going over that 120. I need to stay under that 120 for my preservative, and see how well that mixes in the fragrance oil. This is a very thick cream, so I may have trouble, and I may have to do quite a bit of stick blending tomorrow, but regardless, we're going to give her a go then. So I will see you tomorrow. I'm interrupting this video, guys. It is not the next day. It's like a week and a half later, and I'm at 18 minutes. I might be able to like trim this down a little bit to closer to 16 minutes. It's just not going to happen. The whole video is not going to happen in one day. So I apologize for that. This ended up being a part 1 of 2, master batching of my creams. Can I just say I'm super excited for next week's video, because what happened the next day from where you left off just a moment ago, what happened the next day, I'm really, really excited about, and I can't wait to get your feedback. There's a teaser for you. Can't wait to get your feedback on what my mind came up with the following day. All that being said is good night. I can make some long ones. No, I did want to share with you, I did check the pH of this cream, and I normally don't, but for you guys I did, and I think I must have thought I hit record and maybe didn't, because I can't find that footage anywhere. But the pH of the cream as I make it is 5.5. And I've just made it so often I don't check the pH anymore, because the pH is what it is. But if I would make a change, I check it. Or if I'm doing a new cream recipe, I always check the pH anymore. That's not something I used to always do, but it's something I've learned to do in the last couple of years, maybe. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know that is important, and it's not something I ever knew was important. And so I want to share with you guys that it is important when you make a cream or a surfactant-based product that you do want to check the pH to make sure we're keeping our skin nice and healthy. All right, guys, stay tuned for next week. I can't wait. I can't wait for next week. I haven't even finished the video yet because of things that had to happen. Because my brain had an idea. My brain had an idea, guys. Good or bad? Good or bad? You tell me next week. Bye. Thanks for watching. I haven't done that in forever. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs down if you hated it. I feel silly saying that, but I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers right now. As of today, here I am going off on a tangent again. As of today, I'm like at 99.60 or something like that. So I'm so close, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week. Bye.